Hi everyone, you're watching Off the Record with me, Rita Alfaro, the Fort Worth Public Library music librarian, and today we are interviewing Jacob Furr, our Amplify 817 artist.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi Rita.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Do you want to introduce yourself to the people watching who may not know who you are?
Yeah,
familiar?
for sure. I'm Jacob Furr. I'm a local Fort Worth musician that I've lived here my whole life. And this is my old home library, the Ridglea branch. So I'm excited to be here.
Yay! Well, we're glad. This is, we're trying to feature some of our other libraries here. We've done several around town, but we are at the Ridglea Public Library. And again, I know you said that this was your library growing up.
Yeah, because I was homeschooled. And so we hung out at this specific branch almost every day. And it's where I found all my books when I was a kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we love our homeschool people. Please come. Homeschool kids. We appreciate you guys using our resources. But let's talk a little bit about music. Okay. That's what we're here for. Yeah. So how did you fall into being a performer?
Oh, into being a performer. Well, I took classical guitar for a very long time. I think I started when I was like maybe 10 or 11. Started taking classical guitar then. And then when I was in college, I guess I just started doing open mics like all the cool kids do in college. You go to the open mic at the coffee shop and play your really sad, silly song that you wrote when you were a freshman or whatever. So yeah, I started doing that, and then I moved to San Francisco and started performing out there. And then when I moved back here, the music scene it's always been a good music scene in Fort Worth, but when I moved back, it was kind of like beginning the trajectory up that it's on right now. So yeah, it was and it was easy to jump into it at that point.
Yeah, the Fort Worth music scene is very interesting, especially as you talk to people who've either been around in the scene a really long time or people who are just getting in, because it's grown in so many directions and so many genres, and there's just so many little pockets, but there's always been just this great scene throughout like every decade. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, there's always been like a core like bar or venue that most of the people hang out at, or or a core couple of places that if you go over here, this is what you're going to get. If you go over here, it's what you're going to get. So yeah, it's gotten, as the city's gotten bigger, that's just gotten more diverse, and I think that's a good thing.
So how has your sound developed from being in college, that kind of sound, to San Francisco maybe influences, to Fort Worth influences?
I don't know that it's ever changed. I don't like writing songs that I would like to listen to while I'm driving. That's pretty much all that's my kind of definition for what I do, is like songs that are good for driving. So you put them on while you drive, whether it's California or West Texas or whatever. Yeah, so that's kind of it's what I hope that people hear when they listen to my stuff.
I love your music. It's very, I think I said it earlier, it's very zen. It's just like very calming, and I'm like, this was nice, this is good. Because sometimes, I know my personal like music taste will go from like glam rock to like death metal, and that's not zen.
Yeah, no, Sparks is like a little much, you know?
But how do you, who are your influences, your musical influences?
I like listening to all the great songwriters, all the classic songwriters like Joni Mitchell and Bob Dylan and all those kinds of people. So yeah, that's kind of where I grew up, what I grew up listening to. And like, I know my mom introduced me to Dan Fogelberg way back in the day. I don't know if anybody knows who Dan Fogelberg is anymore, but like, yeah, just a lot of like softer 70s songwriting stuff. So yeah, I enjoy that a lot. And then nowadays I listen to a lot of Joe Henry and Anais Mitchell and stuff like that. So yeah, lots of folk artists really. Yeah. So yeah.
So I know we've talked in the past a little bit about kind of discovering music, especially like at that like collegiate level.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Finding out like there's more than that classical sort of training.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think what I discovered in college. Oh, I know what I did. So the library branch that's over on Hewlin,
Southwest Regional,
they had like a really great CD collection. Back, I don't know, maybe all the libraries do, but I remember that one specifically because we would go to that one as well. And that's where I discovered like Gillian Welch and like so many people, because I would go to that, I would stop checking out books at that point and I would just go check out the CDs and just listen to the albums, just because I could go. It was before Spotify almost pre-internet, honestly. Like it was hard. It was where I would go discover new stuff that I didn't know if I wanted to buy it or not, or I'd heard the name, or seen it somewhere and been like, oh, they have it at the library. Like I'll just go check it out. So so I discovered a lot of stuff just doing that. That was fun.
Yeah, because I know
I'd forgotten about that until just now.
We talked a little bit about like the world music stuff, and that was before the internet. Like I don't know how I would have discovered any of that other than like the regional music from where I'm from.
Absolutely.
But you know, or going to like a Starbucks where they have like that world music compilation.
And that's super generational for us because we're like, I mean, you know.
Yeah, unless you wanted like a virus.
Yeah, nowadays you can just get on TikTok and just scroll a couple of times and it's like anything from across the world that you want to hear or that you never knew you wanted to hear is there. And you're like, oh, wow, this is a whole new world, you know. But back then you had to go, you know, seek it out back then. That sounds way too old.
Like the idea for me, like of the K-pop explosion is just crazy because I'm like, this would not have happened 20 years ago.
Yeah, like, exactly. Like who would have known music from Korea 20 years ago? Like how would we know? Yeah, there wouldn't have been YouTube.
Exactly.
So, yeah. But it's great. It's a good thing.
So you play locally. Are there any local musicians that you kind of want to give a shout out to or mention? Friends?
My friend Clint Kirby just released a like a hip hop R&B thing. So that's coming out. And then my other friend Guthrie Kennard is about to release a record. He's like a blues artist. Who else? I mean, there's a lot. Like David Tribble just is about to release something. My friend. I wish I had looked at this question beforehand because I would have a list. There's so many people that have stuff. Yeah,
we always do these, and there's always like a mention, and then
those are just like the top 3 that I can think of
once
that I saw.
Finish, it
recently.
Becomes like a footnote that's like, by the way, they also wanted to say this person and this person. So no offense if we forgot.
Yeah. There's just so much.
There's a lot of really great musicians out there, especially in the scene you're in. So I know you do your performances at the Post regularly. Thursday, every Thursday at the Post.
So
how's that been?
That's been fun, yeah, especially now that the weather's getting nice. So it's outside on the patio usually, because there's usually a show inside. So I'm on the patio for a couple of hours, and we just kind of hang out. And I've got my little group of folks that show up. And yeah, we just have a good time just hanging out on the patio. So I'm looking forward to it finally cooling down.
Yeah, exactly.
Below 98 degrees.
Fall.
Yeah, the Texas fall. Yeah, cooling down a little bit to be able to enjoy that a little bit more. So yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah, so shout out to the Post if you guys have not been to the Post to see for Thursday or for any of the other
show,
things. Yeah, they're just always really lovely shows. And they're
it's
great
always good
venue, great food, great drinks.
Always good stuff.
So a little bit on Amplify, because you are one of our Amplify 817 artists. We're coming up on our, I guess, 1.5 year anniversary or 2-year anniversary in February.
Okay.
But I always like to ask the artists about Amplify 817 and how you feel if it's maybe a good thing in the community to have.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think anything that's bringing awareness to how many musicians actually live in Fort Worth and play here and make really high quality, world-class music just in our town that hasn't gotten recognition for it for a while. I mean, we have, like with with a couple of people really taken off. I think a lot of people realize around the country, what quality of stuff was being made here. But we've always had a really good music scene, and so anything that's supporting that and putting names out there all the time is really great. And I love Amplify because it does come back to the library, because I am a nerd about libraries and books and everything. So it's like, it's a perfect, for me, it's the perfect like melding of the two things that I love. So
does it surprise you that the library would do music stuff or like concerts?
I mean, at first, but like it makes sense though, because like I said, like anybody promoting music, I think is a good thing. And as long as, and I think the musicians should be able to contribute back to stuff too, and do things to support the library or whatever organization is like promoting the musician, have them do something and support back. And I think it just helps everybody, build the culture of the arts around here. So I think it's a good thing. Yeah,
that's a big goal for us, is that it's sort of, we call it a collection, Amplify 817, a collection of local artists, but it's a little bit more than that. It definitely, we're, branching out beyond just being streaming and bringing you guys in, people like you coming into the library and doing these performances for us and these really great gigs. So we're really excited to that. And it's definitely showcasing how Fort Worth scene is changing and how we're sort of growing in music and who's in now, some of our like legend people that we kind of have on board too. It's just this mix.
Yeah. I think the musicians are great representatives of different communities too within the bigger community. So it's a good, music's such a great way to kind of like, I don't know how to say it the right way, but like just introduce new things to people, and you can say, oh, here's my representative for this group of folks that make this kind of music or into this sort of thing. And yeah, it's a great thing that can be shared across lots of different lines. So yeah, anything that brings that many people together in that many different ways, I think is great.
So you have already performed for us. So do you want to talk a little bit about the songs that you're performing for us today?
Yeah. So I'm going to do Branches, which is off my first record, Trails and Traces. It's the first song off of that. And that song's been around for a long time, and I usually start all my shows with it, and I love that song and have had it for a while, so it's one of my favorites.
And let's listen to Branches.
Well, there's a little bird in the branches of my heart. She sings a song to me in the dark. Yeah, she sings a song to me in the dark. And when the springtime comes, she blooms with the roses, all bright red with the blushing of life. Yeah, she's blooming with the promises of life. But when the summer comes, she sings the long evenings. And in the autumn, her song, it sets the sun. And in the wintertime, I take her home just to keep her warm. My friend, she has been through the mountains, and together we walk through the valleys dark. Yeah, we've been down in a valley so dark. But when the summer comes, she sings the long evenings, and in the autumn, her song, it sets the sun. And in the wintertime, I'll take her home just to keep her warm. Oh, to keep her warm. And if you're looking for a love that's faithful, you're trying to find a love that's true, well, don't let it fly away. If it comes singing to you, oh, to you. Well, my friend, she has always been with me, and I feel her in the winds along the coast. I feel her in the breezes as they blow. Cause when the summer comes, she sings the long evenings. And in the autumn, her song, it sets the sun. And in the wintertime, I'll take her home just to keep her warm, oh, to keep her warm. And then I'm going to do Return, which is off of an EP that I released before times, yeah. Like right on the cusp of the big shutdown.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Return, and then I'm gonna do a new song or did a new song. We're living in a weird upside down world right now, aren't we?
Yeah,
It's called Take Care, and I haven't recorded it yet. It's kind of a brand new song that I wrote while watching a 6-hour marathon of American Pickers on the History Channel.
Wow. So that is a brilliant influence. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. How did that influence that song?
I have no idea. Well, the beginning of it, the first line is "Take care of the things that get left behind." So yeah, and from there I just kind of took off and just started putting a bunch of stuff together. So
that's actually very lovely compared to what the show is about.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that you would like to mention or talk about before we end our interview?
Oh no, I think I'm all covered.
Cool. I think I am. Is there anything you want to plug before? Anything coming up in the new year or?
I don't really have anything coming out soon. But like I said, Guthrie Kennard is my good friend. He's about to release a record this weekend called Riverside. And Guthrie's been around Fort Worth for a very long time. He's one of the legendary people we mentioned earlier. So that record's coming out, and that'll be on Spotify and Bandcamp and all the places. So yeah, that comes out on the 23rd, and I think that's about it. That's coming up that I know of. So yeah.
So I will mention again, check him out on Thursdays at
Thursdays at the Post.
Thursdays, which is Thursday. We keep saying for play on words, just in case you don't understand that. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Rita.
Really appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Thank you all for watching.
May you return with the Spirit upon winds of the west in your hair, your eyes filled with the gilded sunset, fall breeze in the air, tumbling down into the canyons, yellow, gold, and evergreen. May the joy that you find there mix with the sorrow that you've seen. Tear your heart from the dark and lowlands, climb into the mountain arms, desperate lungs burning with longing, go and do what must be done, tumbling down into the canyons, yellow, gold, and evergreen. May the joy that you find there mix with the sorrow that you've seen. Tumbling down into the canyons, yellow, gold, and evergreen. take care of the things that get left behind. Don't let them fall beneath the dust of time. 'Cause the darkness comes without, the darkness comes within, and it'll try to take everything you've been given. And take care of the dreams that grow in your mind. Give them water, set them out in the sunlight. 'Cause the darkness comes without, the darkness comes within, and it'll try to take everything you've been given. So take care, take care, take care. And hold it all freely, let it go easy. The open hand is ready to receive. Yeah, hold it all freely, let it go easy. The open hand is ready to receive. And take care of the well that's in your heart. Draw deeply on its water, but don't let down your guard. 'Cause the darkness comes without, the darkness comes within, and it'll try to take everything you've been given. And take care of the ones that need your love. Don't keep them waiting long, no. Just fill them up. 'Cause the darkness comes without, the darkness comes within, and it'll try to take everything you've been given.